輝き出した僕の誰が止めることなどできるだろう。羽たき出した彼を誰に止める権利があったのだろう。Why? Why does it work? Hello. Hello and welcome back to whatever the fuck this is. To Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, trilogy even. We are so back. Last time we finished the investigation for Trial 2. Alita's pretty sus. She was the nurse for Waki when he had that bullet not removed. So like, why didn't she tell him it wasn't removed? Kind of sus. There's also a footprint that may or may not be hers that's very suspicious. Yeah. We learned that Clavier is the prosecutor who faced off against Phoenix when he lost his badge. Hi! Ooh, gym time. Exciting. Or not, depending on how you feel about it. I personally hate gyms. They make me feel really uncomfortable. But I respect people liking them. Oh, it is. I was thinking your icon's different. Okay, I pretend I do not see. Anyway. Let's get into this trial, eh? I'm excited. I've missed these guys, even though it's only been a few days. I missed them. Okay. Yeah. This is right. Sorry for loud noises. It is... There's Maddie. That's the icon I know. You gotta remember everybody's voices again. This week has been a week. I need this. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was surprised at the outcome. Tuesday, I was like, I had work, and then I got out of work, and I looked at my phone at the map, and I was like, oh boy. And everyone on my bus home was talking about it too. And I was like, man, Canadians shouldn't need to know this much about what is happening in the US. They shouldn't have to know this much detail, but it's just so pervasive. And yeah, crazy, bad. We need a revolution. But that would require people with privilege to like stand up and do things more than most of them do. So yeah. Anyway, let's have fun. Hey guys, let's have fun. I can offer no solutions but escapism at this current time. Yeah. Alright, voices. What was her voice? Let me take a little sip. This is it! The big day! Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. Oh? What time did you wake up? 3 a.m. Oh, Apollo. That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Era's looking at you, kid. Ooh, I'm gonna say this is probably Phoenix. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Yeah, okay. Not the Heya. Heya, get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow, that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochina pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? That Sherman tank of a mom? No, guess again. Leave her alone, Phoenix. She's the best. That's too bad. You know, speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's barely morning and you're already at it. You're at it already, Trucy. He's like, about the gender. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Alita Tiala, your client's fiancé. She's going to be a witness?
But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé?
You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today, that much is clear.
Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there.
We have Mommy at home. It's Miles. But he's not around right now, supposedly. Maybe. I won't say anything more. I have my bracelet on. We're so ready. I wore my Apollo and Trucy shirt yesterday with my my Phoenix Wright jacket. It was nice.
Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie-Kitaki.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Will I ever be able to be normal about voicing him? I fear not. I fear I love him too much. He means so much to me. Prosecution is warmed up, and it's a sold-out house.
Very well, to recap. While yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party,
Guilty of panty snatching.
we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant.
Correct, Herr Judge. And today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon. The preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed.
His betrothed?
His fiancé, Herr Judge. His partner for life, with no chance of parole.
Very well, you may show the, lucky lady to the stand.
Your name and occupation, Fraulein.
Alita Tiala, my occupation is future wife.
Our traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded, underwater. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution.
To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth.
Honesty, another admirable trait.
Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Walkie-Kitaki, confessed his plans? His plans for murder?
Yes.
The witness will please give her testimony to the court.
It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Waki found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it.
So, the pistol did belong to the Kitaki family, then?
Hi, Nim! Yes. With regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kitaki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms.
And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it
fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven.
How can you prove something like that?
Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks.
Rifling marks?
Think of them as being... We're here again. God damn it. Think of them as being a gun's fingerprints, left on every bullet it fires. And when did you first hear about Waki's plan?
It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it.
He said the thing, unfortunately.
Oh well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
That was the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Walkie looked at his face went so pale.
But of course, he had just found out that he had a bullet in his chest. So you were there at the time?
Yes, poor Walkie.
That must have been, quite frightening.
He was furious. He ripped up his reports into shreds.
Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I performed without complaint.
Walkie's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper. Oh, Christ, that little bit of instability is so cute.
Great, now he sounds like a psychopath. So, is it easy to take a pistol out from the house?
Not really, I think. There's a system in place to limit access. But Walkie's a special case, being the next in line.
Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, yeah?
Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthday. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone.
Sounds like he has a taste for sweets. And danger.
The point here being that Walkie had access to a pistol.
What happened? Meaning the murder.
I tried to stop him, I really did. But Walkie wouldn't listen.
Our defendant was nothing if not determined, it seems.
The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss.
How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Walkie, was it, who took the pistol from his home. We know that for a fact now.
I suppose we do.
So how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah?
That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point?
Could someone else have used that pistol? Well, I feel like there's no fingerprints on this. Like, I think that there could have been someone else, even if he was the one who got it from the house, he could have handed it off, is my thought. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this?
Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was.
Well, that would be you, Alita. Well, of course, I mean you, Miss Tiala. Not me and Apollo saying the same things again. Oh boy. I was really feeling him. Maybe because I was wearing the shirt and everything yesterday, but like, I think it's actually because of just Tuesday that I was in such a mood, because I had also been up since like 2:30, and at work I was like, I'm normally a little more patient with the kids, but I was with some of the older kids yesterday, and I was like, no, we're not doing that. You know what your responsibility is. Sorry.
Me? But why?
You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Objection! Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? May down the law. That's funny. I know that's a typo, but it's funny. I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this...
It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder.
I'll shut up. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here?
You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe.
Rowing and typing is... Yeah, truly. Honestly, that's incredible that you typed that much correctly. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Ms. Tiala, and the victim.
That looks like a medical chart.
Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart.
What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart?
Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala?
I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice.
Our warm little fiancé just froze over.
I was on staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that?
Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim.
And I don't.
Now?
I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right?
That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past flaws and all, no matter.
There's no connection now. It doesn't fly in a court of law.
Doesn't fly?
She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Kitakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true. But you remained connected somehow.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic.
Oh, I can't save. Okay, I have to think. Is this... I never knew what gameplay for Phoenix Wright was until today. Honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised. Well, welcome. Yeah, I mean, you're jumping into the middle of this game, which is in the middle of the series, so. Okay. I could present the chart again and ask them to look at it from a different angle, but I'm gonna say it's this. And then we connect these back to her shoes.
Well, I suppose I could see.
Ha, forehead. This trail you think you have found, it doesn't lead to the truth. Nor to a long career in the legal profession, yeah? Gee, thanks. Perhaps you will allow me to do the honors?
Why not? It might be nice for a change.
Most excellent. Let's rock. Ouch! I'll take the usual penalty next time, thanks.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Try again. Show evidence that proves this is okay. Whatever.
Okay. I think we're like done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this. Like, all this stuff I think is all done. Oh! We need to do these first, I think. Okay, yeah. Alright. I was just mixing them up. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they?
Oh, well, who knows? I'm sure there are lots of people with those sandals.
So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you.
What's with you? I thought you were on my side.
Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all.
Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Walkie back on the straight and narrow.
This court thinks you need to worry less about Walkie and more about yourself.
Oh, I think she does plenty of that, Your Honor.
It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story.
Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder.
Well, there's a little point in denying it.
Very well. The witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus clinic that day?
Hi, Ivy. Oh my God, Ivy. I read the word days and my brain combined them. Yeah, it's been a cuff-ruple of days. Hello? Hello? Yes. Agreed. Yep.
I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year, since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend.
By mistake, you mean? The mistake we heard about from the defendant. The botched operation.
He was a timid, small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know?
That does make sense.
Yes, but there is still one thing which does not.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. Yeah. Has anyone drawn him in these? Because I feel like that's an art that needs to exist as much as Phoenix in the maid costume.
I would have worn those sandals home too. Same here.
Yeah, same with him. So, why were the sandals left behind? He pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this. Right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake.
Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Yeah, forehead? Oh, what? No fair! He's filling the holes in her testimony.
The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Apollo said, show hole! Around what time did you go to the clinic?
I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think.
And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year?
Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with.
So why did you go to the clinic that day?
Have your wood sleigh in those heels. Wedges are fun. I feel like they've gotten out of style though, which is so sad. Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away?
Well, after I failed to stop Walkie, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem.
Couldn't you have called? Why go in person?
I called several times that evening, but no one was in.
The victim was busy driving home until after 9 p.m. that night, remember? This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah?
I thought that if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor.
You mean that act of malpractice on Walkie, correct?
If he had just told Walkie the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened.
True, that operation was the start of this whole affair.
Oh, of course, if he'd told him, he might have been erased by the Katakis much earlier.
A disturbing thought.
We know that the Maractus Clinic had ties to the Kitaki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police even if he wanted to.
That's why I knew I had to warn him.
No dark secrets, eh?
What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing.
She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it too.
You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind.
You just said that you don't become friends with this type of person. But then you'd be betraying Waki, wouldn't you?
No, I did it for him. For us.
She went to warn him so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah?
I didn't want them to take my Waki away.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic. And fast. Okay, I need to look at the evidence again. Like, chan to mite. Okay. Found the Maractus safe. Okay. Found the Maractus safe. Signed by the nurse. Okay. In the office with the broken bulb and the red stain on the cord. Okay. Why was this? I think we determined this isn't blood, right? So why would paint be on it? Or how would paint be on it, rather? Present from Waki found in the Maractus Clinic foyer. Big toe found on the... Okay. I went to warn him. Okay, now I'm gonna try the slippers because... Or is it this again because this was in the safe? Let's try this. Okay. I'm really eager to use those slippers. Those must be later. But, okay, this makes sense. Because, like, the fact that it was in the safe is the important thing. This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office.
Yes?
Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you?
Mind filling me in?
Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. I see golf matty. Okay, get home safe. That, Herr Doctor. And this is where you come in, Ms. Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation.
Interesting.
You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kind of makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it?
You're bold for a novice. I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents.
This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly.
Too bad, little attorney.
Ooh. My bracelet's reacting again.
What is it, Apollo?
I felt my bracelet tighten just now.
Your bracelet?
Just like yesterday. Like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away.
But I can't see anything, Apollo.
Huh? Then what's my bracelet reacting to?
Wait, maybe. Yes, that has to be it.
What has to be it?
Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine.
Huh?
I can't see it, but you can sense it.
I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything.
Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony, but we don't know what her nervous habit is.
Well, then what do we do?
You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses.
Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Superpower items? Yeah. Welcome to Ace Attorney. Somehow, touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony. Okay, is this... Let's try here, actually. Okay. Okay, pass on that one. Okay, so then let's try the one that we were on. Oh! What? No, okay, we have to keep going with it. Hear it again. Why would I... Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was quite clear, Ms. Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring.
What?
She was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't part of your past. It was a clear and present threat.
That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it.
Indeed. Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Ms. Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. The second checkup. Or the recent checkup. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Kitakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this?
Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything?
Oh? I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Waki's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. You suck. You're not even a good villain. That's all, Your Honor.
What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying?
I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. He's like texting under the desk like, I have to leave here with his number. Mein Gott, I have to leave here with his number. So, the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic. But her connection was deep indeed. A bit too deep. If the Kitaki... Sorry, I won't make a joke. I'm fine. If the Kitakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Ms. Tiala?
You guessed it.
Oh, she's teeny tiny.
Order! Order!
I did it. I broke her testimony.
Amazing, Apollo! I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait.
Miss Yala.
It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Waki and went home.
It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. This is clear. Yet, it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand.
Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination.
I was so close.
You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo.
How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning? Did we ever find out? Hold on. I'm thinking. Okay.
Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky, even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn that Kataki was after them?
Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday right here in this courtroom.
Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. That's really funny. After which, I carried you back to your chambers.
Sounds like the judge had quite a fright.
Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus' office that day, huh?
But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo.
I know. But we can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved.
Well, let's try putting up some evidence anyway.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him.
Do you know why she went, Apollo?
Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic. And fast. I think this must be the bullet because whoever was there recently tried to open the safe because there were 2 numbers already in the safe, like the beep 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 into the code. Yeah, because that means that, well, we'll see. I won't say any absolutes. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this.
What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually.
This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Ms. Tiala. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how she said that to him and was like mean, and Apollo just did not care. He did not care. I love him. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Nuh-uh. But this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe. I guess the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say, I'm so flustered. How can you say that the bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kitaki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Herr Foreheads.
Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately.
"30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical.
Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position?
The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart.
Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe?
Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala.
Order! 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 Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness?
Uh-huh. Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination?
What?
That reminds me. Apparently, the Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will.
Nefarious. So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune.
Objection!
Oh, objection! You keep talking about trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Oh, well, you can't have her. She's mine. Sorry, the way the word mine came out of my mouth was really funny. Mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too there in that park. Walkie. Just cool down a sec, please. You keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll...
Miss Tiala.
I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've laughed so hard.
Something funny?
Walkie, wake up and smell reality.
Alita, baby?
The signature on the chart. The engagement. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself.
Alita. Your honesty is like a breath of fresh... Oh, foul air, Fraulein. That's funny.
Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway.
So, the family fortune is what you're really after.
That's right. I wanted the money.
No way, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that.
Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question?
Who, me?
I believe you said you were going to abuse me?
Accuse.
Of what crime, might I ask?
Huh?
Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic.
What?
I would never do such a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat.
Wait, but...
What are you talking about?
Trucy? You had the most to lose if that chart was found.
But I didn't have a pistol now, did I?
Well, you could have taken Walkie's.
You think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is it was me, I shot him.
That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point.
What point?
Certainly, the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe. But then, wouldn't she have taken the chart?
Oh!
You see, that chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. He's right.
Miss Tiala.
Yes?
It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day.
Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. Sorry, need to adjust my seating position.
Ooh. Okay. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not.
That sounds like somebody who shot him in the temple.
You went back later.
chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day.
But you couldn't get the chart then, could you?
And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place.
That was you?
Apollo! That sound! It came from behind this door.
Someone's in there. A break-in. They left through that window. So you were the burglar.
That was you two? If only I had had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What?
Oh, what? That's trespassing, and brazen at that.
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
In any case, Mr. Justice, you're all cross-examination.
Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Canadian Apollo. Just kidding. Why that day?
That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry.
But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. Later?
When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
Why did Mr.
Doctor...
Why did Dr. Maractus keep that chart around?
I'm losing it, guys.
It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him.
But you could have stolen it.
Could have? Is this some new definition of proof?
We'll ask Waki. He'll tell us. Might I remind you this is a cross-examination? You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? Mr. Doctor does say like something they'd say in one of these games. Yeah. What can I say? I'm just getting into character. Yeah, but
But what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further?
Weird. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes?
So it seems.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple.
Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here.
I wasn't.
Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot.
Nuh-uh. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. At least not from where the killer is, yeah.
Silly, silly attorney.
What?
Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning?
Do you remember, Trucy?
I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken.
But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Yeah, because we have footprints, doofus. Then why don't you show us, Herr Forehead? Show you what? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. I'm noticing for the first time, Clavier has eyelashes. Can we... Hold on. I'm gonna do something crazy. Can we enhance... I want to, like... Is this working? Mayhaps not. Okay, maybe not. What mascara does he use, though? For real, for real. Okay, it isn't working the way I wanted it to. That's too bad. Okay, that's fine. Well, we're here now. Oh, it's because I was on the wrong... Okay, hang on. Can we... I can't zoom on this, can I? No, it won't let me. No, that's so sad. Okay, that's really too bad. Alright. But he has eyelashes. That's fun. I don't think any of the other guys have eyelashes that defined, right? I don't know. I'll have to look at Phoenix again in this one. If the witness, Panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did this killer shoot the victim? I didn't know to before today, but you are being so fun. Aw, thanks, Gabriel. You can just lean into the screen real close. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a way to zoom in because I'm capturing from Switch, I guess. If it was on PC, I probably could do it, but alas.
But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple?
I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. I know your forehead's bigger. I know, that's why we have bangs. You can't fool me. If you can, that is. Wakiki-Taki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark. And of course, Pal Maractus was at the victim mark.
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim?
Finally! Finally someplace else! Thank you, thank you, thank you! As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime. Oh, hello from Canada. Hello to Brazil from Canada. Okay, wait, what did he just say? We can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location.
What are you talking about? I don't see any other place.
Apparently, Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did this killer shoot the victim from?
Let me have this. It's time to raise the roof. And the stakes. Huh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Like so.
Double penalty.
Herr Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. I've been fucking said. I feel in my heart of hearts that when he was like, challenge accepted, and Clavier was like, if you've seen The Office, and there was like that one part with Jim where he like shivers. Hi, Karma. That is exactly what happened. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala.
What do you mean?
Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. Mind Palace. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand.
Order, order, order. So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand?
Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You said the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along.
There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? I think we can, because not only do we have the footprint near where the stand was found, but we also have the bowls were taken out. I've got it right here.
Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand.
It was all of these. There were a ton of these at the clinic.
Thoughts, Prosecutor Gavin?
Are you gonna say no? I love seeing the penalty stuff. We have a choice between heaven or hell. Either our brains are damaged or her foreheads is. I wonder which it is.
This court finds its judges.
No way. No, that's so wretched. Low tonight, queen. That's really funny. Okay. Okay. Oh wow, why is this taking so long to load though? Okay. I'm thinking. Can we look into, like, inside the stand? That's so dumb. Enhance. I mean, okay, in theory, in theory, we could present that. Let's try presenting this and be like, I don't know. That was a sick burn. Okay, let me try. Okay, I got it right here. Alright, blah blah blah. Okay. Let's try the stand itself. And then if it's not this, maybe there is no proof. Oh, damn it. I don't want to see them insult my boy again. Hang on. Okay, so maybe there isn't. There isn't current proof? But there should be. Like... The slipper is the fucking bane of my existence. Would it be enough? Don't answer this. Would it be enough? I love that those all sent in the wrong order. You must be on the subway. Damn it. Okay, I'm doing it one more time. If it's these godforsaken slippers... No, don't help me. I've played this game before, I should remember. Okay, if it's not the slippers, then it's nothing. But like... Ah! Okay. I can't believe this is what they're considering over the bowls, but fine, okay. The Maractus Clinic. And they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Ms. Tiala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path, idiot. Sorry. I made myself laugh by calling him an idiot. Yet, you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb! Idiot! One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. I have you! There's no room for a person to ride in there.
You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Apollo, I think I might be onto something.
Huh?
I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence.
Me too, Trucy.
In order to make room in the stand, some things would have had to be...
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in that stand?
I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. Bowl! Show bowl! This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldune's Noodles noodle stand.
Yes, and what about it?
We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday in the lobby of the Maractus Clinic.
A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic.
Mr. Eldune was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala.
Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines.
I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
And please pull us back down to reality, Ms. Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case.
That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself.
I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report. And that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Oh, very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth or it's over.
Okay.
So, you did go to steal that chart.
Were you listening? I said I asked him for it.
The victim was a man in good health. I don't see how she could have coerced him.
True. It would have been impossible without a pistol.
But what if she did have a pistol?
I'll admit I wanted the chart. That much is true. My reason was simple.
It certainly would have put a damper on your wedding plans, I'd say.
Not only that, if the Kitakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus right now pulling that great noodle stand in the sky.
And seems our witness was in a fix as well.
Who would want to die pulling a noodle stand?
When I die,
It will be by disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act.
could we be a little less morbid? Please?
You know it's bad when he's asking for that.
So you see, I needed that chart.
He didn't understand?
He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. I thought, what a sad excuse for a man.
Please don't smile like that anymore. It's creepy.
He was practically delusional.
They sent you?
He thought the Kitakis had sent me to get the chart.
It makes some sense. You are their son's fiancé.
Don't make me laugh. The Kitakis send me, and they don't play that way. If they'd known about that chart, they would have gone in there with guns blazing. But I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise. Otherwise, whatever.
So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Okay.
If that was really all that happened, what were all those noodle bowls doing there?
How should I know? There weren't any bowls when I went, I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killers someplace else, alright?
Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance. Apollo, any word from your bracelet? Yeah, actually. I felt it respond. I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo. Time to perceive the truth. Here comes justice.
Okay. I think it's here. Oh. That one's too easy. That's all there is to look at. All I did was talk. And lie.
Oh, what? Show me proof.
I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. Also, can I comment? Can I make a comment, guys? Hey, why is the background red and purple?
Hey, why'd they do that? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Anyway,
The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words.
My twitch? What are you talking about?
You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf.
What? What?
This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth.
Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth.
It seems that when you recall what happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. Oh. Did he try to strangle her? I forgot about this.
What's that?
You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state.
Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me.
Very well. The answer is very simple. Miss Elita Tiala, please remove your scarf. Damn, I forgot about that. My bad. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. Yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf.
I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove...
Miss Tiala. Oh, excuse me. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No! No!
I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Elita Tiala?
Your neck! That isn't what I think it is.
Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it.
But wait. Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic.
Why was it flapping? Why is it alive?
Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you.
Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What?
I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I want some company. You. And what happened next?
He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Palmaractus was serious, deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out.
So you were the victim.
And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. Oh.
I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand. But how could I?
Ugh. Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it, it's hard to breathe. I told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Ms. Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her.
I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala?
Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of this.
Yeah! I love him. A good boy. Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now, we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way?
Prosecutor Gavin.
Palmaractus choked Alida Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next?
He's right! There is more that we don't know.
But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while.
Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand?
Alida Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand.
What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night.
Miss Alida Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet.
You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin?
Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we've learned up until now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So, he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine.
And Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki, so she went to the Maractus Clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature.
But then, something happened.
Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold.
But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alida Tiala, perhaps he thought, to death. What did he do after his crime?
I was just knocked out, not dead.
From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Herr Forehead, care to guess?
Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do?
Maybe he did think he killed Alida Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? Okay, so... He put her in the thing. Hold on, this has nothing to do with anything, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm like so distracted by, and I obviously like knew this was coming, but like Clavier being the one who's like, no, we're not done, is such a cool, like, because we've learned bad things about him. We've gotten this very negative first impression of him, but he's such a good person, actually. Anyway, I think we have to present the stand. If it's not the stand, it's the fucking slippers again. I'm gonna scream. Okay, thank God. As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Eldoon's noodle stand.
What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand?
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside that stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy?
Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place.
Ah, wait, you don't mean?
I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala.
My corpse?
Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you.
His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
Then let's think about it. Logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kitaki?
I question your logic.
What's this, Prosecutor Gavin?
The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with?
That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination.
What?
Apparently, the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was headed with this stand.
I think it would be the river, but I'm gonna save, just in case.
Okay.
Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging that stand?
I'm gonna guess river. Goodbye.
There? That's a river.
Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why.
A perfect place to dispose of a body.
He was going to throw me into that river?
He didn't have many other options, Fraulein.
I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Elida Tiala. And then, the denouement. Wesley Stickler of panty-snatching fame walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts. In that instant, Mind Palace. It's funny every time.
So, I shot him?
You were the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you.
Well, Miss Tiala.
Nice work.
You mean I'm right?
I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook.
You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park?
Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak.
Whereof what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this.
Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin?
Must I always be the one to point out Herr Forehead's errors? Ugh, maybe there really is something. I believe the Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car?
That's right! The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car.
And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And our defense without a case.
Objection! I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken.
Oh, it wouldn't. You should know. And Clavier should know better than anyone. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy.
Daddy?
That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car.
Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it. Sorry.
Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine. Everyone's losing it. Everyone's losing it.
That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car,
Oof. A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No. No!
Order! 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 Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body?
Is that a groan of surrender I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned?
Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night.
The car didn't run. I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car.
Now you're making even less sense than usual.
Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put 1 and 1 together and the explanation is simple.
If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show proof of why the car wouldn't run that night.
The power of panties, baby. They were in the exhaust pipe.
Let's see now. Panties! Again!
All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth.
Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid. In the Maractus Clinic garage.
What?
The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them?
Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe?
Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin.
So you were here investigating?
And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. It's funny every time, sorry. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe.
Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could just break from that.
Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run.
My, how interesting.
While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start.
What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of.
He's so silly, guys, I can't. Well, Miss Tiala?
This wraps up your doubts quite nicely, I think.
So it does. Where am I? So dark. Can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning.
Well, what's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Ugh.
Walkie?
You lied to me. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine. I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me.
No. He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him.
Cease this at once, you two.
Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Too bad.
There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand?
In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running.
I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stigler. He went to use the public phone to inform the police.
Which is when I made my escape.
Which is when you left that slipper print.
Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though.
That was your mistake.
No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Walkie declared guilty, it was you.
Woof. People are bullying him today.
I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alida Tiala doing?
She's confessed with everything. I'm dealing with something right now. She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now.
Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He'd figured out she was a killer a while ago.
Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. That's right, he did say that. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days.
He lost, but I didn't exactly win either.
Something the matter? Hair, forehead. He's like, oh my god, he's looking at me. Do you want to say something, or?
Looks like it's time to announce a verdict.
Hot. Milky.
Yahoo! Yippee! Wahoo!
Court is adjourned.
Great job, Apollo! You did it!
Yeah, we did, somehow.
Walkie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank.
Hey, attorney man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes.
Or to blame, I guess.
You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-headed attorney with a death wish. Enough, Walkie. Mr. Kitaki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Walkie. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life trying to become some kind of businessman? Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out.
If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending?
Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kitaki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Walkie. Oh, Walkie, Apollo has something to tell you.
Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. What's that?
Show him the reason why, Apollo.
Why is Mr. Kitaki trying to become a businessman?
It's for your surgery, but I don't know which of these to do. I guess this. Think about it, Waki. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean. You aren't really, are you? He's so cute. I can't. He's so cute. He's so cute. I just want to squeeze his little cheeks. I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Waki. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Waki. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. He's cute too! They're all so precious. Oh my god. He has his mom's eyes. It's really fun. You can't tell in that picture, but... Please understand. Waki. Dad. Oh. Man. I see how it is, old man. Was you looking out for Waki? Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
My, Waki!
No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kitaki. I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who, me? I don't think. Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kitaki lime pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. Dude, that sounds awesome. We have to go. And he was gone.
Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency.
Hey, since when do I work at your agency?
Aw, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going.
Huh. Why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become.
Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first.
Huh? Where? Trucy, do you go to school?
Only sometimes. Why, to claim our reward from Mr. Eldoon.
To be fair, it is their summer break right now. It is July, I believe, and they would be on break at this point.
Ah, salty noodles. Right. He got his stand back already?
Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat.
Oh, it's special, all right. Please, anything but him.
Wahoo! We did it! Oh my god, I'm so excited for the next case! Ah! Guys, I'm so excited for the next case. Ugh. Okay. Saturday is Olkami. So Sunday we'll start the next case. I'm so excited. Huh. Have to wonder how long it took her to get him grabbing her hat, right? Yeah. That is such a good point. Yeah, dude. Oh, I'm so excited for the next case. Which we will start that Sunday. I'm so I'm so stoked.
But yeah, in the meantime, I know it's been a rough week thus far and will continue probably to be a rough time for a little while longer. Do your best. Don't let, at the very least, stay alive. Don't let them win. Like, don't let them get their way. Don't let Cheeto Man outlive you. There are still good people and good things in the world, even though right now it definitely does not feel like it. It's not a good time, for sure. It is not completely hopeless. But I do think it's worth, how do I say this? I wouldn't be optimistic. I think it's a good time to be realistic. There's going to be some bad times ahead. Probably. Prepare yourself mentally for that. Give yourself time to rest for that. Look out for each other, you know. Yeah. So, in the meantime, this will continue to be a space I will have to hang out and get away from it for the most part. Yeah, prepare, make a plan, and survive. Yep. Make plans. That's like the best advice I can give you as a Virgo and just in this situation in general. Make plans. Have plans B, C, D through Z. Like, make as many plans as you need to keep you and your loved ones safe. Plan ahead. Expect the worst, hope for the best. Yeah, and then in the meantime, this will be a place to come hang out if you're needing a safe space. Unless, and in case it wasn't completely obvious, this is a safe space for my queer and trans friends, including people in the ace spectrum. You are part of the queer community, including polyamory people. You are part of the queer community. Research what they're planning. That's also such a good point, Maddie. Do your research as much as you can. I know Google is trash right now, but do your best. Don't believe everything at first glance either. Always make sure you're double checking information, especially pictures. The backwards search function still works. Yeah, this is a safe place for people of color. This is a safe place for, I would say, most people except for bigots. If you did vote for Trump, I really don't want you around on this channel or in my life. Yeah. We probably will never agree. I used to be a lot more open to talking to people about it, but I've decided I'm tired. I'm tired of me and my friends who try to talk and try to have those patient conversations being talked over instead of having the conversation. So I'm done doing that for the most part, except with people who are genuinely ignorant for whatever reason. Which does occasionally, I do occasionally come across that. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Saturday, the usual 6 p.m. Pacific time. We've had that daylight savings shift, so we're back an hour. Just keep that in mind when you're looking at. If you have an iPhone, you can go to the clock app and look at world clock for the West Coast of the North American continent. And yeah, take care of yourself more than ever. Take care of others more than ever. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Please wear a mask. Oh my God, if you want to feel like you're doing one thing in this situation, please wear a mask. Please. Please. Thanks for hanging out. And truly stay safe out there. I will see you when I see you. Yeah,